Hi, so today I will be talking about my entrepreneurial interview. I interviewed iMotive Property Maintenance CEO and founders, Joey Johnson and Alex Bly. So, a little bit about iMotive. Who is iMotive? iMotive is a property maintenance company that specializes in lawn care. Joey and Alex were a high school friend of mine. We graduated together, went to high school together. I kind of grew up with these guys. They started the business actually when they were still in high school. It wasn't like an official business at that point, but they were mowing lawns in exchange for money. And then they obviously grew to what they are now. Like I said, they began just to make some extra cash, but now they've turned it into a legitimate business. And Joey and Alex are pictured here in their beautiful iMotive sweatshirts. So what are some day-to-day tasks that comes with the lawn care industry and running this business? Joey was very adamant that keeping the equipment up to date and running properly, gassed up, oiled properly, making sure the weed whackers work good, making sure that the lawnmowers were working, having proper trailers, just making sure that the equipment was always up to standard is probably the biggest time consumer, because he has to put in hours after the day is over if a weed whacker breaks or if a lawnmower goes down or something gets caught in the lawnmower, something like that. It's just very time consuming even after the scheduled workday is over. The wear and tear on lawn equipment is absolutely enormous. Like, you're using it consistently every single day for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day. Another day-to-day task that they talked about was just creating invoices, sending out invoices so that people could pay them, they could get paid, making sure that people do pay on time so that they have cash flow coming in order to keep paying their employees. The other task is just putting out fires when they arise. I remember I actually worked for them last summer, and just a couple of days, like, we got a metal wire caught in the lawnmower, like, there's golf balls that shoot out of the lawnmower, like, you accidentally shoot a rock out and break a window. Like, there's just so much stuff that can go on, and just having to try to put out those fires as best as possible and limit liability. So what does their growth looks like over their first 5 years of the business? So the first year officially that they ran the business, they had 15 residential properties, basically all in the Fridley area. It was basically family and friends or word of mouth. They really didn't have like a huge client base at that point. But last year, in 2018, they managed over 200 properties, both residential and commercial. So they are just taking off. Multiple mowers now, riding lawn mowers. It really is just taking off for them. So they now have commercial and residential, like I said, and they have several contracts with property management companies who then hire them to take care of all the regular lawn work for these apartments, townhouses, just rental properties in general. So we talked a little bit about what the risks were that are involved in just starting your own business and kind of creating your own employment so that you can be your own boss. And just one of the biggest problems is just finding capital, especially to find the proper equipment in order to properly service the properties that they have a contract with. So the financial risk is obviously the biggest one they talked about, just trying to get a loan from the bank for a certain amount of money, or trying to find investors, possibly parents or grandparents, people just to kind of give you money to get on your feet. The other risk that we kind of talked about is just the sheer amount of time that it takes out of your day. You're not just working the 40 hours a week. Some days, sometimes you're putting in 50, 60 hours a week. You're working on Saturdays, making sure that properties are getting properly serviced, making sure that weed whacking is getting done properly, making sure that everybody is working properly, and doing their job as effective as possible. So basically night and day, like, you're just making sure that everything is up to code and as good as it possibly can be. So some of the lessons that he said he has learned. The biggest lesson that we talked about was just like having the willingness and the humility to be able to ask for help when you need it. He had to hire like a tax person in order to file for business taxes because he obviously had no idea how to do that stuff. So finding someone with the expertise to make it efficient and well worth your time is one of the biggest steps in creating your own business. The next biggest lesson was just putting in the extra hours, like being willing to work after that 40 hours a week, being willing to put in the extra hours because at the end of the day, it's your business and it's your financial risk. And sometimes your employees don't care about it after that day is over. He was very adamant that he just did not realize all the hard work that goes with the business until you're like really in it in a day-to-day basis. So overall, Joey loves that he started his own business. He gets to kind of make his own hours, work whenever he wants. There are many day-to-day tasks that go into making a smooth business. Being patient, working hard, and being willing to just put in those extra hours. And overall, he just said weigh out the risk before you dive in and always have a plan. Thank you.